'Cause I gotta have faith. I gotta have faith. Because I got to have faith. I got to have faith. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jalela Starr. Today, the topic is Sandy again. But this time, looking back at it and looking for the higher perspective and what's come out of that and where do we go from here. So let's get started. It's been a week since Sandy roared onto the coastline of New Jersey and New York and knocked out power for 9 million people, brought devastation. You know, Coney Island is pretty much destroyed, and that was iconic. I mean, people have been going there for 100 years, and now it's just a pile of rubble. But good things have come out of this, even though there's been a lot of suffering and a lot of pain, and we're not here to make light of that at all. What I wanted to share with you was that it could have been worse. I mean, the prophesied event was a 100-foot wall of water, and what came ashore was about 20 feet, give or take. I don't know the exact amount, but it was far less than it could have been. So it went from devastating, it went from catastrophic down to devastating, which for those who lost everything, it's still catastrophic for them, and we're not saying that it's not. But overall, it did not have the impact that had been prophesied. So I wanted to just take a moment and say thank you to all of you who did your prayers and sent energy and put light around this area. And I think that together we shifted the mass consciousness enough to downsize Sandy. Back in 2005, when I wrote about this event, an inundation of the Northeast coast, which the Nibiruans had told me about, I got that it wouldn't be catastrophic. And the reason that I got that it wouldn't be catastrophic is because what the Nibiruans do, they're time travelers, time healers, as I've explained many times. And they look at the timelines. They will say this phrase, as we project along the timelines, as we look out along the timelines. What they saw was there was, where is the most energy concentrated? And there are multiple possibilities. So they look at those possibilities as separate timelines, and they look at which one has the most energy on it. And what they told me out of all that was that it would not be catastrophic. But don't sit and think that we could relax. We had to do all the work between 2005 to 2012 to make certain that it wasn't catastrophic. And what I'm saying is pat yourselves on the back because you did it. We have done it. We have shifted that from the worst case scenario down to what it was. Now, there are those who say, well, why couldn't we just have eliminated it altogether? Well, as once again, the Nibiruans told me back then, they said certain areas have to go through a mild cleansing because they have energy that is very concentrated, that is in some cases stuck there, and it needs to be shifted. Sometimes water equals emotion, is needed to sweep through an area, either through rain or floods or whatever, to move that, to shift that consciousness out of there. And the way it does that is it removes the buildings. It removes, in some cases, the people. As in Katrina, there was, and I grew up in the South, so I know this, I can speak to this personally, is that there's a lot of the old slave consciousness still there, and people who have for generations lived under the consciousness of slavery, which takes away their self-esteem and their willpower to do more. Yes, there were those who got out of there, so to speak, but the majority of them stayed in that consciousness generation after generation. So when Hurricane Katrina came through, it eliminated a lot. Of course, there are those who say, well, the levees were detonated and that's what caused the worst of the problems. It doesn't matter how it happens. What matters is that it happens and that it shifts the energy. And that whole area is being rebuilt, and the energy when you go down there is different. Now, Northeast, I didn't grow up there, so I can't really speak to that. I will have to give that to all of you who have lived there, to talk about what the stuck energy was up there. What I can say is how the rest of the world views that Northeast coastline area. that was the playground of the wealthy and the rich, and a lot, the financial district of the United States is all concentrated in that area, the powerhead of the U.S., Washington, D.C., all that area is, you could say the global elite are concentrated in that area. So when you go in there and you wipe out a lot of the structures, and you wipe out, and the water rushes through, and the rains rush through and create this turmoil, what it does is it shakes up that energy and allows all that energy that we have been projecting, you and I, into the area to kind of flush it. So a lot of the infrastructure did not need to be destroyed. It just, the energy needed to be cleansed. And if you listen, like, to the Weather Channel now, they're talking about how people from Europe have come over there to help. It's like there's this outpouring of love and support to this area that has come in from all over. I mean, it just gives me goosebumps to talk about it. And that energy is flushing the energy of that area. So what I think you're going to see is there's going to be a tremendous amount of change that occurs in the power center of the United States. In the people, in the consciousness, you're going to see a lot more, I hate to say these words because they've been overused, it's a lot more brotherly love. There's going to be a lot more cooperation and unity, and a desire for change, a desire to let go of the past. And that will be in all areas across the board. So I think we're going to see wonderful things come out of this. So again, thank all of you. Thank you. Pat yourselves on the back for what you have done. But it's not over for those people. We have to keep sending them energy. We have to keep supporting them financially and in every way that we can to be able to rebuild their lives from this. But one thing's for certain, the Northeast will never be the same. We're making it. We're making it event by event. We are shifting the timeline. It's less than 60 days till we create that galactic alignment between the center of the galaxy and our sun and our planet. And that's like the finish line. We have less than 60 days, but you know what? We're making it. We're making it. We may get there by the skin of our teeth, but we are making it. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing your emotional clearing. Keep working to heal whatever you can heal within yourself and within your family and within your friends. Wherever there's conflicts, look for the higher purpose and resolve it. We're doing it. Thumbs up. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.